Hello, this is Samuel from Action Figure Fury, and today I'll be doing a review of the McFarlane Toys Stranger Things Series 1. I think as well, I believe this to be Series 1. I know these were the first four human characters that McFarlane Toys released in the line. As you can see here, we've got Chief Hopper, Hopper, 11, Dustin. No, that's Dustin and Lucas. Sorry, my mistake. So, Dustin and Lucas. As you can see, these are the first four human figures they released in the wave. They all got their respective stands holding some of their accessories. I should mention, I picked these up pretty cheap in Best Buy in Louisiana, which I was there just the other week. And they were about $8.88, which is a pretty good steal for these figures, I must say. I think these are fantastic looking figures for the most part. I know they do have their problems, especially because these were the Series 1 figures. Well, these were the first two. These two came out later, but I believe they're to be from the same wave. They released these two first, and these two came out later on. These two have a few little paint problems, where these two are pretty darn good, especially Lucas. I have to say, right off the bat, Lucas is my favourite of the Stranger Things figures so far. And I'll go into that later on. As you can see here, I've got Chief Hopper here. He doesn't come on his stand too well. If I can just move him out here. I can't. Hold on. Let's see if I can move the camera up just a tad. He does tend to stand up pretty darn well without a stand, so he doesn't really need one. Let's just get it up just a bit there so we can see each other. You can see the character fully. You can see here. I'll bring him into shot. It's really, really good. The likeness to David Harbour is pretty darn good for the most part. I really do like the likeness to it. Of course, I like how he can hold a coffee cup. It's one of the only figures in my collection which can hold. Comes with a coffee cup which he can hold. Talking about problems, he does have a few paint errors. I'm not too sure if it's coming up on camera here because there's some sort of paint marks on the chest, back on his shirt. It's quite rife on the back actually. You can see a couple of unnecessary splotches and paint chips, and yeah. Just in the back of the neck here and here. There's a bit of a gold mark. Just here under the pocket area, if I can just get that to focus. As you can see there, just a little slight gold mark. Yeah, there's a few paint errors with the figure. Nothing too bad, nothing too serious. It doesn't really impact my enjoyment of the figure, but he's a really, really good looking figure of Chief Hopper. And I'm quite surprised they released this character in Series 1, considering he's an adult and he's the only adult they've released in the line so far. I know Chief Hopper's a chief character, but quite surprised they released him so early on. But it's also here he's got his revolver in his holster here. Looks really nice. I'm not sure if that's a reuse from the Walking Dead license when McFarlane Toys had that, when they were the Rick Grimes figure. But anyway, it's a fantastic looking figure. Really, really good. I'll go into the articulation later on. Yeah, let's see. Let's put him back on his stand, like so. Damn this. I need to keep putting the camera in focus all the time, it's a bit annoying. Right, there we are. Got Chief Hopper there with his coffee cup. As accessories were the base, which is really, really nice. His coffee cup, which you can hold well, and his revolver, which can go in the holster. You can hold it in this hand, but it doesn't look that good. Well, you can get it right, but it does take a bit of effort. Here we have 11, how she appeared in Series 1. I know they've released a Punk 11 from Series 2, which I want to get my hands on. That was in Series 2, and they've also got the upcoming Series 3 11, which I'll be honest, doesn't look that good compared to the second one. I should mention that this is a re-release. This is because I heard online when I was watching a review of this figure that the original figure had all dirt and that on her dress. My one's pretty damn clear, and the likeness is a little bit better. I forgot the actress's that's it, Millie Bobby Brown. That's the actress's name. Name escaped me for a second. The likeness is a bit better. She does have a fair few problems as well. Most notably on the hand here. I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but there's a few little paint errors. Just on the, if I can bring this in. Oh, I can't. It doesn't want to focus. See, you can see little paint errors just on the wrist there, which is a bit irritating. And her famous, of using her powers hand. The likeness is pretty good, and I do like this is what she was wearing chiefly in Series 1. The problem with this figure, you can see why I've got the one of the legs bowed. It's because she doesn't stand too well, because obviously they have board joints in the feet, and as she's quite a heavy figure, because obviously she's wearing a dress that's made of hard plastic, she doesn't stand too well, which is unfortunate, because it's a pretty darn good figure for the most part. It's a shame about that impedes. In the way of accessories, of course, she comes with her own Stranger Things stand. She comes with an Eggo waffle, which I'm a bit disappointed isn't a box of Eggos, because I know the Funko one, they did 3 3/4 inch line. Stranger Things figures, they released a box. She came with a box of Eggos, so I'm not too sure if McFarlane Toys couldn't release give agreement with Eggo to release those, give it a box. But it's nice she comes once she can hold it with one of her hands. She also comes with a wig, which she wore, which she had in Series 1, obviously, cover her short hair because she was on the run. I haven't seen all Series 2 yet, I've seen all Series 1. It comes with a wig, which is quite hard. I know people have problems with this, chipping the paint on the head. I haven't encountered that problem at all, so I must have lucked out, but she does fit over her head pretty well, and it does cover all her hair. And she also comes with an interchangeable hand. Well, these other two come with interchangeable hands as well, to hold a walkie-talkie. As you can see here, there's a little peg hole in the walkie-talkie itself, and you can peg this into the hand like so, and it does look pretty good for the most part. It does hold well, but it is a little bit problematic. No, that isn't problematic, especially more with Dustin, and a big problem with him holding his one. But yeah, she comes with that as well as coming with an interchangeable hand. For this, like I said, she's got a fist here. This is interchangeable hand, so she can hold the Eggo waffle, which is quite nice. I'm going to swap these two around here, so I can have a better look at them. I'll go into my favourite one last. Of course, this is Dustin. I forgot the actor's name. It's just escaped me at the moment. But I have to say, the likeness on him is pretty good. This is when they really stepped up. These two, I know that Mike and Will have got really good likenesses to the actors as well. This is the thing they really started picking, doing pretty darn well. The paint job on this one is fantastic. The likeness is really, really good. Comes with quite a number of accessories, which is really nice. The only disappointing thing is they changed the stands. I know the review spot noted this is in his review as well. They had these stands, but they've changed them. When they wear the where Chief Hopper and 11 had sort of like sort of a semi-opaque, semi-translucent bases. These come fully translucent, and also they stuck them down with tape in the packaging, which gives a horrible sticky residue. This one isn't too bad, but on the other one it's pretty darn bad on Lucas. It's a shame because they should have kept that universal. But anyway, comes with a stand, which is rather helpful, and Dustin does need it. Getting his foot on there does take a bit, and see, that's the problem. This figure took a shelf dive last night, unfortunately, which is a pain because the hand doesn't really want to stay on. I can try and get it on, but it's a bit problematic. Yeah, it does want to go, but it has a tendency to pop off, which is a shame. It's my only gripe with the figure. As you can see, I think this is the outfit he's wearing in Series 2 or Series 1. I think this may be Series 1. Outfit, I don't really like it. You got the pouch t-shirt there. Nice little baseball cap. His hair, his big hair sticking out the back. The backpack. I had a problem with these. I should mention this with Lucas as well. I've seen some reviews where the one of these straps pegged out and you can put it over the back. Mine couldn't do that at all. They were fully stuck in there, so you had to move one arm back and bend it to get it on. But not a problem. I do like having the backpack on. I will be keeping the backpack on these figures, and I do like the sculpt to it really well. You can see the zipper here, the strap up here, loads of folds. Not too a bit dirty, but really like the texture work on it. I do like the texture work on these pants, where look like corduroy pants. Really, really good, and the shoes look pretty good. I do love the jacket as well, with the buttons actually painted and sculpted on, which for the most part looks really, really good. The checkered pattern here to the top of his jacket, really, really nice. It was a shirt, I should say. It's a shirt. He's wearing a t-shirt, a shirt, and then wearing a jacket beneath, jacket over top. Really, really good. McFarlane Toys have really done a really good job on this fixture. The texture work, the paint, outstanding. I can't complain with this one at all. The only grub with this figure is his torch he comes with is a little bit of silk. The paint is rubbed off. It was like that when I got it in hand, unfortunately. That's not been the shelf dive or anything like that. It's caused that problem. It just came out like that. It doesn't really bother me too much. In the way of accessories, he came with the backpack, which I mentioned before. The Lucas comes with a similar backpack. I'll show you his one later. The torch. He also comes with a hand holding the walkie-talkie, and he also comes with a compass as well, which you can hold. I'm not too sure that's coming out too well here. There we are. There's a little compass you can hold. It's quite old school. Really, really good. And for my favourite figure of the wave, because just the paint, the articulation, the paint, the sculpt are absolutely perfect. Lucas, this one is my favourite of the the Stranger Things figures so far. The likeness to the actor, I forgot the actor's name, it escapes me again. It's really, really good. I do like the sculpt. The sculpt is really nice. It looks a bit different because Dustin is quite heavy set. Obviously Lucas isn't, so it looks quite different on the shelf. And just the paint and the sculpt in this is fantastic. I do love the brown jacket with the... Is it a duffel coat? I'm not sure if it's called a duffel coat. For nice fur trim here. Oh, well, you know, sort of like lamb's wool, you know, here, which is really nice. He's wearing a t-shirt with a purple neckline, and also he's got his this belt here, which is well detailed. Again, he's wearing I think it looks like corduroy pants. If you can see the texture, it looks like corduroys. If I bring that in, let's have a close look at that. Yeah, it does not want to focus too well, but they are corduroy pants, and he has some well detailed trainers. Probably the best detailed shoes of all the Stranger Things figures so far in my collection. Really like, and I do love the headband. I do love that. That came out so well. McFarlane Toys knocked out the park. I have to say, McFarlane Toys have been doing a pretty darn good job lately. They've really risen up in my books. You know, I've got some Game of Thrones figures which I'll be reviewing soon as well, but. You know, and they've got the Harry Potter the Harry Potter rights, the DC rights, the Doomslayer from the new Doom game, and I hope we've got some more surprises in store. But they've been really killing it lately, and if this is an example of what's to come, I'm all for it. So you can check out. We've got plenty of McFarlane Toys content on the site, just, you know, upcoming figures, but they've definitely been on the rise lately, so which is great to see. And this figure is a great example of that. The way accessories comes with his own backpack, which again is a bit different from Dustin's. I do like this one. It's more of a corduroy design in this one, bit different paint variation. See the zippers and the hand, we can hand up here. Really nice. Even textures work on the strap. Really good. Really well done there. He also comes with his military grade torch, which you can hold pretty well. I've got that here. It has a little button. If I can put it to the side here, you can see there's a little gold button which you can press. To switch on and off. It doesn't work, obviously, but the switch is painted on. It also comes with his famous slingshot, which I've got holding in this hand here. And his only other accessory he comes with is an interchangeable. Oh, doesn't seem to be here. I must have left it in the room. He comes with his own interchangeable hand with a walkie-talkie, which is all the accessories they really need. All the kids will come with walkie-talkies. I know. I'm not too sure if that carries on for. I know Punk 11 doesn't. I'm very curious to see what happens. Well, the future of this line, because there's some of the characters that we're missing. So before mentioning articulation and wrapping up this review here, I should mention when these two, which is the Series 1. Before Series 2 came out, they hinted at the back of the package Series 2 would consist of 11, Punk 11, and Steve. We've never gotten Steve. We've never seen Steve. Steve was hinted at the back of the packaging. They never released him. I don't know if he's been delayed or anything, but I know he's rather an essential character. I'd like to see Mike's older sister, Will's older brother, and obviously Steve and some of the other characters to make up this line, because there's a few characters missing. It'd be nice to have a whole lineup and make a nice little Stranger Things diorama. We also need to get the Demogorgon Gorgon as well. Anyway, the way articulation, I'll bring out Chief Hopper, because he's more stable of the bunch. Well, actually I'll do it with Lucas. They have ball jointed heads, which are a little bit stiff. See, it has a tendency to snap in place, but I think I'm not too sure what the problem is there. Go left, right, all that good stuff. They have ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, ball jointed wrists, nothing in the waist. No, this one doesn't. No, none of them have anything in the waist. H jointed hips, so the hips can go out a little bit. They can go, again, this is probably hindered by the sculpt. Go forward quite a bit, back a little, well, back pretty far. Got a ball jointed knee and ball jointed ankles. So these guys are pretty darn articulated. Of course, this can impede some of the figures, how they stand, especially like 11, which I do have problems with. But aside that, that's probably a problem that they iron out later on. So these figures are rather articulated, come with some pretty darn good accessories. And if you're a Stranger Things fan, these are a must-have. And these figures in the UK range for somewhere between about £15 to £20. I did manage to pick these up on the cheap at Best Buy. I'm hoping to get, the other two boys, Mike and Will, and obviously the Punk 11 as well, and the Demogorgon, and hopefully we see some more of these Stranger Things figures at San Diego Comic-Con this year, because I know the third series just comes out about a week, 2 weeks before the event. Anyway, guys, these are the Stranger Things Series 1 figures. Highly recommended, especially if you're a fan of the show. If you can get these for a good price, highly recommended. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this review. Bye for now.